Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me on Berets. Continuing with the Brave Exvius videos lately, one as in a kind of nice little lead up to War of the Visions. I think that in the about, a little less than a month's time towards War of the Visions, it's a good idea for me to start making videos again to get into the swing of things because, once War of the Visions comes out, I will be playing that as a free-to-player. Trying to give Alum and Gummy the benefit of the doubt that it will be better than Brave Exvius is. Because, with the coming of a new game, there is definitely always the potential that the developer is going to make a really good game and it'll be really fun and maybe more balanced and less money grubbing because they've learned how they've pissed off their fans in the past. And I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm just not spending money on it regardless. And I just am really hoping for a nice Final Fantasy Tactics kind of experience here. And I've heard that, the Alchemist Code or what, yeah, I think that's the one that this is based on. That's the other Gummy product. It kind of just slipped my mind. Anyway, even though that is, I've heard some bad things about it, I've also heard that was just one version of it and it was kind of screwed up and they made some bad decisions. I'm hoping that War of the Visions will be better. But anyway, I will be starting to play War of the Visions on the 14th. And as we all know, Pokemon will be coming out on the 15th. I'll also be streaming that. Again, I think it's really bad timing for War of the Visions because that's, RPG versus RPG in a way. Different types of RPGs, but still, I think that's probably not a good fight to pick. Anyway, I want to talk about some other things today, and one of the things that I do want to talk about is Global. Global, you guys have got literally what I think is just basically one of the best units, period, and definitely one of my, I think, at the end of all things Brave Exvius, just one of my favorite units, which is, of course, Chocobofina. Chocobofina, Spirit Chainer. Spirit Chaining has always been really cool. It was really cool when Lyra came out with it because it offered, this interesting style of a powerful defensive unit, but could also do offense. Now, I think that the game has proven that it's not super conducive to this style of chaining, and Alum or Gummy just don't want it to be too good of a thing, which is a little too bad. But Chocobofina was basically the best Spirit Chainer that we ever got to, or I ever got to see and play with. And you know what? The sprite is absolutely adorable, beautiful, and I just want to give my recommendation out there to anybody who is or has gotten her, or who is still on the fence. I think she is just really great, really nice super TMR, really nice TMR, really good kit, solid all the way. Don't care if she's meta or not. Absolutely fantastic. Getting her into the 7 stars so you can get all the Chocobo chicks is just gorgeous. But not talking about something that is absolutely so awesome. I want to talk about something that happened in the 4th anniversary, and I want to talk about this as being the moment that Brave Exvius has officially jumped the shark. Now, everything up until now has seemed, kind of reasonable. Even the Digital Ultimania to me is kind of, well, it's kind of annoying just from a sense of just being like, oh, this is how they're trying to get money out of people. It does offer something to the game. And there has been some, questionable, weird ideas here and there. None has been more questionable or weird than this. Brave Exvius the musical. A thing that is not only, I'm willing to say right now, this thing's freaking doomed in Japan. There is no way in hell. It doesn't matter whether they are focusing on Season 1 story or Season 2 story or Season 3 story, even though obviously Season 3 is not done, so I don't think they'll touch that. Season 2 is kind of not regarded very well and is just a giant cluster. But anyway, that one I don't think that they will go with either. And the first season is probably the safest because I think most people are generally, even I am still generally positive on that. Is it the best story ever? By God, no. Absolutely 100% no. But it is fairly decent and probably would be, okay source material. The problem is that no one here in Japan cares about Brave Exvius anymore. They care about Final Fantasy. When I've gone to more recent video game events, there have been incredibly long lines to play Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. So it's nice to know that Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy can still draw a crowd here in Japan. You know, it's not just Dragon Quest and Pokemon, or Dragon Ball, or One Piece. Anyway, getting back to the matter at hand here is the fact that Brave Exvius the musical has no purpose of existing and is going to probably do very poorly here. Why? Because, for one thing, I just don't think it... Like, if you take a look at what happened with the Square Enix Cafe, which is a cafe that has really good success here in Japan. When it has things like Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15, the cafe is basically always busy. It can be a little bit hard to try and get a seat, even sometimes a reserved seat. Not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. Not like a concert here, but still. You know, there is a little bit of a fight to get those seats. The Brave Exvius Cafe was basically empty almost every single day. And yeah, that comes from a lot of observations and talking to a few other people who made some observations. But yeah, Brave Exvius just, at least in my area, in the Osaka area, just doesn't have that kind of star power to it. Maybe if they put Miso and Zero, but then again, it's really relying on the fact of just using their cosplay items. And I hate saying that because I do like Miso and Zero. They're very nice people. But at this point, they are being used to heavily promote the game and keep people playing. Yeah, so I'm willing to just call this right now. Brave Exvius the musical is just basically the Brave Exvius series jumping the shark fully, going into something that is not needed, not required, not wanted, and was never asked for by anybody. Could it be fun? Could it be well done? Absolutely, of course it could be. Hell, it could have, if they, wanted to, they could potentially even make the story work better for a musical. But that isn't what this feels like. This came out of left field, and this feels like another, just throw it out there to try and make whatever cash they can. Brave Exvius is not above, going to whatever they have to at this point to make money. And that is, worrying a little bit whenever a series decides, whatever we do, as long as we make money, it's okay. And that's the thing. Brave Exvius has kind of had for the most part, I would say from the third anniversary to the fourth anniversary, a down year in terms of the number of people playing, in terms of reputation of their company, and in terms of, brand name. I don't think that this year has been particularly good for the Brave Exvius name. And it'll be interesting to see how War of the Visions does. One, also because of its timing, but two, just because of what Brave Exvius has. I don't think that it's unfair to say that players who are scorned by the game will be very, very leery of War of the Visions. And going into the incredibly busy video game / holiday season, War of the Visions could get forgotten, whereas if it had come out a few months ago in the months of September, or August, I guess that would have been a few months ago, I think it could have done much better in a less crowded area, and could have garnered some more attention, especially around TGS, but things have come and gone now. Obviously, the game has gotten 500,000 pre-orders, which is nice, but how many of those are actually real, and how many of those players are going to continue playing and spending money is definitely up in the air. But yeah, when it comes to Brave Exvius the musical, this is going to be, I think, a passing note in history, like some of the other things that have happened. And overall, out of all the things that any gacha game has ever done to promote itself, this is very weird and notable, but yeah, this will not be a success by any stretch. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. There are some other videos that I'm going to be making over the next little while to do with the 7-star, the 4th anniversary, as well as what I think is going to happen between the 4th and the 5th year. All of this leading up to the point where I'm basically going to start playing War of the Visions. So that's going to be exciting. But over the next little bit, for anybody who's curious, I will be doing some Halloween streams over the next week and a half, perhaps. something very special on Halloween to deal with cosplay, yeah, maybe. We'll see if my costume actually gets delivered or not. But other than that, War of the Vision streams, Pokemon streams, as well as SD Gundam streams are all on the horizon in the future, while continuing to think, potentially about, other than Epic 7 streams, maybe some Epic 7 content, but what that is at this point, I do not know. Anyway, so that's all for now. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in the next video, when we are talking probably about the 7-star. A little bit of a retrospective, but I think it's worth it. Talk to you later.